Welcome back to another episode of Talk 21. Today we have our first inaugural special guest, Dom. Dom, how long have we known each other?
Man, it's a long time since we were kids.
Yeah, since high school. I think we met
least,
in
yeah.
grade 9.
Yeah, 95, 96.
Yeah, we've been friends. We're able to
Lot of
keep
good-
in touch over time. You were in landscaping. You did work
Yeah.
for at my house and for clients, and you're always great at what you do. Now you're doing.
So now I'm a mortgage agent, licensed agent with Ernesta Financial in Bolton. I did the switch over in the pandemic. I've always loved the business. I just find that the mortgage was more fit for me than being a realtor. I love the business. I love the industry. So far, going great.
Dom and I have met one of your gatherings years ago, and I'm great to hear that you've made the switch. It's a great industry, and it's welcome.
Thank you.
So why did you make the switch?
You know what? I've been in the landscape construction company my whole life. I've always been self-employed. I love giving great service to people. I have a great list of clientele. I've serviced municipalities, developers. I have a good relationship with a few of the big developers in Vaughan. And like I said, I just love real estate. My hobbies were always looking online. I had friends and family calling me for advice, and I just, you know what, I said it's the right time in my life, and everything just lined up.
So, I mean, we've got some good news today. We just found out that the Bank of Canada are holding their rates, so that's always a positive sign for the real estate market, and I'm sure mortgages as well. We need to get some, confidence back in the market for buyers and sellers to put their properties up and have rates stabilize. So this way, things could start September's a big month. And that's when we always see real estate really pick up. When the kids go back to school, life gets back to normal, summer's over. So now September's a big month that will kind of predict where we're going, right? The next couple of weeks are huge.
I feel like, the summer lull, typical markets kind of slows down a bit in the month of July and August, people are traveling. And then things kind of rejuvenate and pick back up when the kids are back in school. The lack of a rate hike right now is good. At least we can hopefully keep the momentum and don't see any faltering prices and slower markets. So hopefully it stays like this, and we'll see where it goes. And like for Dom, it's good. It's good time. It's good time that you got in here at this point because you've been doing it for about a year. You said.
About over a year, yeah, a year and a half.
It's good because these problematic situations, you're getting thrown in the mix where it's a bit more difficult, and you're dealing with people's financial issues, so to speak. So it's good because when things were going well, it was easy to just turn things around and move on to the next one. So
you know what? At the end of the day, I believe good service is good service, and that's what I strive to do. I don't know. I just really enjoy it. I enjoy it more. I think you evolve as a person over time, and as the years went by, I'm 42 years old, and it's perfect fit for me right now.
Look, whether you're doing landscaping, real estate, mortgages, coffee shop, service is number one.
Absolutely.
If you've got the bones, doesn't matter what you're doing. You can always thrive. You can do bigger things, change careers at any time. People sometimes, and I got to credit you for doing that, because a lot of people are always scared for change, right? Everybody's got mortgage payments with everything going on these days, and I mean, you're still doing landscaping, but you're also.
I am, yeah. Well, I have
added this.
It's just a side business that kind of runs on its own, and I can manage it. But my main focus is mortgages right now.
Yeah, I find that anybody in these industries where it's all commission based, and sometimes they have a hard time transitioning, maybe because they're used to a salary. So you've been self-employed, so you understand it. It's another type of service, a lot different, but you can feed on the fact that you've done the other service in the landscape side and hardscape side, that you can maybe purge some of those clients into this new role that you're on. And that we're always worried about where we're going, like where the next commission check is, or how we're going to do this year versus last year, and how do we better things and get more business. But you've been doing that all along, so you'll be fine. It's the people that that are coming into these type of industries that have been already like salary employed, they're more complacent. They don't understand it sometimes to say, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to
Yeah.
put a lot of effort
And
into this, and I don't know when it's going to pay back and how long it's going to take for it to really show the signs of the hard
Results.
work, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
I
it's
agree.
good, and I like I know that you got good work ethics. It's gonna be fine. You'll
And
be
I think
fine.
at the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing, right? Trust. If you
Yeah.
trust a person and know they know what they're doing,
yeah.
And
they're happy to give
we're all
it-
here to
yeah,
help each other out, right?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
Like,
I
right?
believe in custom. Like I believe in not just doing one transaction with you, with many, kind of thing. And I do fight for the best rate, and that's what we do at your Nesta. And that's it.
And who do you believe gave you the first steps towards this career change?
I would have to say my broker buddy Johnny Supa that owns the brokerage.
Supa.
Yeah, shout out to Johnny Supa. Yeah, we've always been talking about it, and I seen how he evolved in the business and done really well for himself, and I just want to be a part of it.
Do you feel that realtors are misunderstood, possibly at times hated?
You know what? I think right now with the way like everyone's on Instagram and marketing themselves, they're really glamorizing the industry when there is a lot of work involved, a lot of stress, and at the end of the day, you gotta work hard for your client, right? That's all it comes down to.
What about you, Sam? What do you think?
Well, I mean, as a realtor, when I see what's going on this Instagram and TikTok, I think sometimes it could be a bit much. You know what I mean? But I mean, it works for some people and it doesn't for others. But I mean, our job, if we're not working hard and always prospecting and trying to get new clients, I mean, we always have to keep the well nice and wet. We have to always keep the flow going. And like Dave said, we don't know what the industry is going to bring, the changes, how much money we're going to make every year, but we have to work hard. We have to give our clients the best service. When we're taking listings, it's A to Z always, no cutting corners, and just working hard for our clients, right? And they'll see your clients will respect and see what you're doing for them. And once you've got their trust, it doesn't mean then that's the end, right? You always have to maintain it. And like Dom said, this is not a business where you're doing one transaction. You're always looking for the long run, right? You want to service their family, friends. You want to be their guy always, right?
It's all about the long term.
It's all about the long term. Yeah, not about the short term. We get a lot of agents coming in this office, and we're always trying to teach and guide, and everybody's doing these programs. But it's like you got to learn the art of sales first. You need to be able to understand people, the way they think, and that's an art, and it doesn't come overnight. So people think they jump into this for it's a quick commission, and then they're gone in a couple of years because they don't people see right through you,
So Dom, it's already been said on this podcast, and they both believe that before you even think about buying a home, you should get in touch with a mortgage broker.
Absolutely.
Do you agree that that's the
Absolutely.
fundamental
I think even if you have a pre-approval actually and you're submitting an offer, I still would put that as a condition. And as we say in the office, until you get the keys in your hands and it closes, you're not guaranteed a mortgage. You know what I mean?
What do you think, Dave?
absolutely, yeah. I think that the market, like the whole market, the way it's going and the way things are changing ever so quickly.
Well, how is the market right now?
Well, it's kind of like there's inventory. It's kind of flat where we're not seeing any spikes or changes. The hike freeze now is definitely beneficial. Hopefully, we'll stay the way it is and not see anything more devastating happen with regards to pricing. And maybe some volume will increase and people will have more confidence in buying again. But back to the whole financing part of it, we need to make sure because the last thing you want is to spend time with a client and not for the lack of the effort, but it's the unfortunate fact that if you go ahead and do something that at the end you can't afford, then why would you go ahead and do it all? Just get pre-approved, and not even so much pre-approval. Get a conservative value and where you could be, figure out what you're bridging, the gap of what you're buying and selling if you are stretching, and making sure that all the variables are set so that like Dom said, you can close. Like you can close in 3 months, and you're not overstretching yourself, because we've seen things change so quickly, and we want to make sure we're going to be comfortable, not with this purchase, but financially in the future. We want to make sure that you're not just living to pay your house and pay your bills, and not worrying about like stretching out the amortization so you can make your payment. You want to make sure there's a bit of comfort, and we don't know where we're going to be, and we've gone through already a lot in the last so many years that why create stress, more stress? Like, we got to find a balance, and sometimes we got to make sure we know what the range is and where you should be and shouldn't be, and that's why mortgage specialists and ourselves, it's not about just going to buy and selling. You need to know. You need to kind of get an idea
team,
of. You need to know where you're going to be and what the worst scenario is. Sometimes some people don't know the worst. So when you're giving evaluations, go in at the very conservative amount. When you have to tell somebody what they're going to sell for, we don't know where it's going to go. So assume the worst scenario all the time, so that when you're preparing financially, you're in a better position, not in a worse position. And that's how I see it. But and that's the most conservative way of approaching it.
Well said, well said. And now to sum up this whole episode, we got to talk about something that depends on how you are in front of the camera. Dom, how do you feel about social media, the camera, the sound, all that? How do you feel about the digital world?
I think it's good. You have to show some kind of presence. It's the new world, but I'll be honest, at the end of the day, I just believe you got to roll up your sleeves and go to work hard for your clients. And
but you have to agree that Instagram is a very big tool, especially in your industry.
100%. I've actually had a few deals myself just in the last month from Instagram, just posting and doing nothing crazy.
Did you hear that, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
You also agree, Sam?
yeah. I mean, it's kind of social awareness, right? People need to, when they think of mortgage broker, you kind of want to be the first in mind, right?
Yeah.
So it's part of the future. I kind of feel if you're not on Instagram and kind of being out there, whether you're comfortable or not, like we were, you just got to do it, adapt with the changes, and try to have fun with it. You know what I mean? Roll with the punches, and that's it.
So now
you're
what
not
we
going to be
gotta do-
perfect, but
So now what we got to do is you got to thank our guest for being on.
yeah.
You have to give your Instagram. You sign off to Dave. He gives his Instagram, and then lastly, Dom. He plugs all the information he needs to get his social media presence.
So how do I wrap it up? What are we saying?
Yeah. So you could just basically say.
Okay, guys, that's a wrap for
You
this.
could say, you know what, Dom? I'm so happy that you could be here to give us some other insight. Perhaps because he's new into the industry.
Yeah.
So, something for people who may consider going into the industry. We have one guy here, and then of course. Talk to Dave. Then Dave, as always, you're my partner in crime. Dave plugs himself. You plug yourself. You plug.
Okay.
Ready, Sam?
Are we doing the likes? Like click on the.
Follow, subscribe, all that.
That's gonna take half an hour to do that shit.
bro,
Anyways,
you got it. Ready?
go ahead.
What's my handle
I
again?
don't even remember mine. That's the problem.
Check it out. Check it out.
What's my handle again? Do you remember, Steph?
Just say, take care, brush the little hair you have, and we'll see it. I'm gonna sit on my phone.
What's my handle again?
C-
C21 finally.
You legit don't know what your Instagram is?
No, what do we?
I'm telling you, Steph, we're like rookies over
I ran a
here.
business for 20 years without a website.
What are we? What am I? Do you remember,
Mortgage with
Dom?
Domenic.
I mean,
Look this thumbs up.
Mortgages with Domenic.
then I get distracted by
Mortgages
this
with
stuff.
Domenic.
Oh yeah.
And call my cell, because I always answer. That's
Say
it.
that.
That's
Say
it.
that. Say I'm very much a talker, so
Yeah.
if you want to get a hold of me, the best way is call and then drop your phone number, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, Davide, you ready?
No.
Good.
So what? Hold on. What am I? Oh, C21 Fine Living
Who's
Realty.
fastest, which order?
C21 Fine Living Realty.
Ready? On Salvatore. 3, 2, 1.
So Dom, thanks for coming on our show. You're our first guest, so it's
Thank
kind
you.
of special for us. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to come along on this journey with us as our first guest. I hope you guys are liking what you're seeing. If you please give us a follow at Sam Genova Real Estate and my partner Dave.
Yeah, Don, thanks for coming out today, and you can find me at C21 Fine Living.
Please give us a like, subscribe, and also Dom, you can give them your handle as well so people will know who.
Okay,
to
you can follow me at Mortgages with Domenic, or the best thing to do is give me a call on my phone, 416-738-6064. I'm always answering. And thanks a lot, guys. David, Sam, what can I say? You guys are amazing. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for
Thanks for coming.